Hello everyone. Once again, Anamita welcomes you to Food Culture and More. Today we will be going to discuss about food culture and breakfast. So how breakfast is evolved and modified in our food culture from the past time to recent times will be discussed in today's video. So stay tuned for upcoming some more information and innovative ideas about breakfast. Stay tuned. So the first question in today's video comes from the very question that what is breakfast and why the name is called breakfast. I know many of my friends by this time knows it that the name only is evident from the term breakfast. So breakfast is the first meal that we take post fasting after dinner. Yes, I am right. After dinner, ideally we should not consume anything and our body goes through a fasting stage. So to break this fasting, we need the meal that is very important for our body and hence it is termed as break fast, breaking of the fast. So it is called breakfast. So the next question in today's video is how food culture has influenced breakfast. Yes, we will be very surprised to know that our food culture has influenced our breakfast mostly because from the traditional luchi ghugni of the Bengalis to the aloo ka paratha of the north to gatte ki sabzi or dal bati churma of Rajasthani to idli dosa pongal of the south to today, our breakfast has evolved a lot. We are now mostly dependent on the packaged ready to made food for the breakfast to some extent, and in most cases it is being seen that they are skipping breakfast. So I'm not going into the positive or negative aspects of the breakfast or the traditional changes or the changes that has been brought in food culture, but still I just want to highlight that food culture do have influenced in a positive and also in a negative way in the breakfast that we are consuming today. So the third and perhaps the most important question in today's conversation is why should we consume the breakfast or what will happen if we skip the breakfast? As already mentioned that breakfast is the first meal that we consume after 10 to 12 hours post dinner. So it should be consumed at right time without fail. Failing which our body can be exposed to a large number of havoc conditions which can be detrimental to our health and well-being. Starting off with gastric issues because in the absence of food our stomach will secrete the gastric juices and when the food is not present it will erode the stomach linings. Secondly, our productivity will go down due to the absence of food and we can develop lot amount of stress and anxiety related problems and crankiness and mood swings throughout the day. Third, since our blood glucose levels will be facing a lot amount of struggling, so there is a higher chance of developing type 2 diabetes. Fourth, there is also a higher risk of developing lifestyle disorder diseases like obesity, hypertension like this. Fifth, it has been shown by recent studies that our immunity also goes down in the absence of the breakfast. Sixth, there is also a high chance of developing a lot amount of cravings, post which we end up eating a lot amount of food that is not advisable. Seventh, there is a higher risk of being low active and also being completely fragile or lethargic throughout the day due to the absence of the breakfast or food at the right time. In my professional life, I came across a lot of questions regarding this query from my patients or my relatives or family members, etc. that when should we have the breakfast? So as I came across a lot of people, I see that there is a growing trend in people to have a very late breakfast or might be having the breakfast but not at the right time. So ideal time for having the breakfast, I know everyone knows about this or having somewhat knowledge about it from the sources or maybe internet or Google, etc. But to simplify it, post 30 to 40 minutes after we get up, breakfast should be taken, not be delaying any further beyond it. So there has been a lot of speculations and query regarding when to do the breakfast and when to do the exercise. I know you already have some knowledge regarding this, but still I want to simplify in my own way to everyone all out there. So ideally breakfast, as I said, should be completed 30 to 40 minutes after you get up. So if you are planning to do exercise before breakfast, kindly complete it within 20 to 30 minutes. That is, wake up a bit early, finish the exercise within the first 20 to 30 minutes, take the time for freshening up. That will hardly take 5 to 10 minutes irrespective of the individuals, and then immediately take the breakfast. It is very important to provide food post workout, and if you are planning to do it post breakfast, then at least 1 hour gap should be given between your exercises and breakfast. So commonly, we all start our day with a cup of coffee or tea and a biscuit, toast, something like that. I know it happens in every household. So is it a good breakfast option, or should we start the day with a cup of tea, coffee and biscuit? Actually, the reality should be completely contrary to the practice that we are doing. Why? Because tea and coffee contain some anti-nutritional factors like tannins, phytic acid, caffeine, which can hamper the absorption of the essential nutrients that can be present in the healthy breakfast that we will consume. So, ideally, tea or coffee should be consumed at least 30 minutes post breakfast, not along with that, not in empty stomach or before the breakfast, and not immediately after the breakfast. Now let's discuss about the common breakfast items. Being the first meal of the day, breakfast should be healthy and nutritious. At the same time, it should contain carbohydrate to provide energy after we consume the breakfast, and also it should be protein to make it filling. At the same time, appetite controlling so that we don't feel hungry at least 2.5 hours post breakfast. It should also contain a portion of healthy fats, and no, fats are not our enemies. Second question which can arise from this conversation are that is breakfast should be cost effective like some exclusive foods like oats or quinoa? No, breakfast can be as cost effective and as traditional as a bowl of upma with slight modifications like adding a few soya chunks into it, or it can be the traditional besan chilas with a curd or mint chutney you can relish on, or it can be an egg sandwich with brown bread and some vegetables onto it with a mint or tomato chutney. So no, breakfast can be very cheap and also cost effective. At the same time, it can be healthy. Thank you so much. As I will be ending the video today, we will be discussing on such more innovative and informative topics in future for sure. But until then, as I always say, stay happy, stay healthy, stay home and stay safe. Thank you so much.